Um, is it live on my channel? Please. There we go. Okay. Hello and welcome everyone to the APPF1 Elite Canadian Grand Prix. It's the third round of the season. And we are into qualifying. Red Flame Joe, championship leader, on an out lap, first person out. So he will be the first person to set a time if it is not invalid, because that's very easy to do around here. Commentator stream, here we go. All right. Red Flame Joe weaving to warm up his tires. So he enters the last chicane right now. So, starting his lap, Red Flame Joe breaks into turn 1 and turn 2 very nicely from what I can see. Not much oversteer on exit out of turn 2. Turn 3 doesn't invalidate. Turn 4, sorry, hits the barrier. Turn 5 want to brake at the 100 meter board, get on the curb, and be very careful on the exit. No, that's 6-7 actually. Brake under the bridge at the end of the DRS zone. Make sure you don't invalidate on exit. Into the last sector then. You want to hook up the hairpin nicely as it's a big straight that follows. Meaning you can lose a lot of time on the exit over the course of the entire straight. You want to go slightly over the curbs, slightly over the track limits, because that's allowed at the last chicane, and Joe puts in a 109.8. Not a bad lap for the championship leader. Ace is about to start his lap. Scotty puts in a 14.1, not exactly what he'd want to set. Jackalacco, 12.0. Both of these guys, I assume, can improve. Kevin O'Reilly puts in a 10.8. Ace versus Kings. No oversteer coming out of turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Brake under the bridge for turn 8. Don't invalidate. Get a good exit out of the hairpin. And it's a long run up onto the final chicane. Final chicane, which you want to hook up very nicely, as you can gain a lot of time. It can make or break your lap, considering track limits and the wall of champions. 11.4 from Aces. I'm sure he can improve on his second attempt. Goes with a 10.5. 20 Stokes with 10.6. And those are the times so far. Okay, so Lancer, I think he's on a lap. Oh, nearly spins as he did in the Tier 1 race. He's very, very slidey through turns 3 and 4 for what I've seen from him. Probably just his setup with his driving style, but if he's fast and he's invalidated his lap, But if he's fast with that setup and driving style, then kudos to him. You know, just do what you can, I guess. So, Reshka on his way to the last sector. Last corner, sorry. He's in the last sector. Not exactly a competitive lap, but P7 for now. I'm sure he can improve somewhere. So he's going for another attempt this lap. So it looks like that anyway. So 5 tenths up in sector 1 for the Williams. Doesn't invalidate through there, unlike Jordan Lancer. Has he gained in this second sector though? Massively, over nearly a second in sector 2. Right now that would put him on an 11.4 high point 3. So he'd only jump up 2 places at most at the moment, unless he can find even more time in this last sector. Hugging the right side of the track. 10.2, very good improvement from Reshka to go P3 on the grid for now. Only 4 tenths behind his teammate. So both Williams and both Astons looking competitive so far, as Kevin O'Reilly has put in a 10.4 to go P2. But I am expecting the Red Bulls and even the Alphas to answer these laps. Jackalaka puts in an 11.1 to jump his teammate. So Robert invalidated his lap at the final chicane, as he also invalidated the next lap. So he'll want to box this lap and go for another attempt maybe, or save the ERS and the tires. But it looks like he's going for it. On the timing screens, like on the mini-map, sorry. Oh, never mind. On the mini-map, it said it invalidated, but maybe it's a game glitch where he hasn't. See, accelerates into the wall, which I must say is not a smart thing to do. Alright, he's made it out, still alive. So he can go for another lap. Lance about is to start his second lap. Yeah, coming into turn 2. What am I talking about? Coming into turn 1 and 2. Not much oversteer on exit. Looks like a clean turns 1, 2 through there. Not slidey this time through 3 and 4. 19.3 in the first sector. Doesn't go over the curb on the apex, the first part of the chicane. Under the bridge now. Doesn't invalidate this time. He's got the Alfa Romeo ahead of him, so he might pick up a small slipstream as he gets out of the way. This is looking like a very good lap from Lancer so far. Onto the last straight, into the final chicane. You want to brake just after the 100. And it's going to be a 109.997 from Lancer, putting him P2. So far, himself and his title rival, Red Flame Joe, the only ones to go into 1.9s. But we have yet to see Finley set a proper lap. Finley put a 9.4 in, so we know he's going to take pole if he can set a good lap, and it is legal. So yeah. 3 cars yet to set a time. Finley, Robert, and Skitolo. Robert and Finley both have invalidated lap times. So invalidated. Okay, invalidated. Invalid. Robert goes for a little bit of a slide through turns 1 and 2. P2 to P5 is looking very close. It's P6 even. It's only 3/10 in it. Can very easily gain such a time around the stack. You can also lose 3/10 very easily around here as well. It's really hit or miss. As I'm getting word that the championship leader, Red Flame Joe, has apparently potentially blocked Finley from in qualifying. So we might see a report and a penalty for Joe there, but we'll save that for after the stewards, or for after the race and for the stewards. Aces versus Kings now jumps his teammate. Not many cars out on track today, not at the moment. Both Astons together and the 2 Hasses. Jakalako about to start his lap. Gets on the curb at turn 2. Very careful through turns 3 and 4 to not invalidate or spin on exit. As he does that right now, that's my first commentator's curse. Ghost, I'm coming for your track record, mate. Jakalako will not improve his lap. Ghost is on a lap though. Is he already on a slow lap? He's already on a slow lap. He's going for 2 out laps. I do not have enough knowledge of the game as to why he would do that, so I'm just going to question his ways of driving while he does his slow lap. He doesn't hit the apex quite as you want it there. Going over the curb, using tyre wear. Okay, so while Ghost starts his lap, we'll go on board with his teammate who rounds off his lap now. I'll catch back up to Ghost with when Kevin ends his lap, and he goes pole position for now with a 109.754. So a great lap from the Aston Martin. Can his teammate replicate that? No, he's already backed off again. I guess we'll see what happened there. Johnny Stokes starting his lap. The People's Champion in ESRL from last season. So he taps the wall on the exit. That's not what you want to do at all. As Shakalaka advertising the pit lane. There's not enough time to go out for another lap. So not invalidated from Johnny Stokes through 8 and 9. Let's see what he can do into the hairpin. 2:10s up on his time so far. Would bring him into the 2:09, into 1 minute 9. Sorry. The man P3 in the championship, going through the last chicane of the track, as he puts in a 1 minute 10.0. So losing a bit of time in the last sector. Another 10th, and it would have been P3, but P4 it is. Red Flame Joe and Lance are all on a lap. Reshka finishes P3, 4 thousandths ahead of Jordan Lancer, as he loses time through the second sector. Lancer down on his time from sector 2. Championship rival, Red Flame Joe right behind Lancer as well. So they're going to finish their laps right next to each other. Goes across the line to set a 1 minute 10.0 as well, beating out Johnny Stokes. Through comes Lancer, invalidated his lap time. Red Flame Joe, though, goes P1, and that's pole position for the championship leader. A great lap from the reigning champion. And there we go. Red Flame Joe, a stunning pole position from him. Kevin O'Reilly in second, 2.5 tenths behind. Reshka 5 tenths behind in P3. Lancer fourth, invalidated his lap time, last lap time, 4 thousandths behind Reshka. As Ghost comes in fifth, right behind that. Johnny Stokes in 6th, Aces versus Kings in 7th, Jackalacco in 8th, Robert DTS in 9th, Scotty in 10th, Finley and Skid Solo not setting laps, so they will start at the back of the grid. as hopefully we're about to start the formation lap. People's changing their strategies and their setup. So we start the formation lap. Red Flame Joe has already spun before turn 1. So hopefully a good omen for him for the rest of the race. Getting the spins out there. As he gets disqualified, so never mind. He's going to be in a lot of trouble at the start with very cold tires. So Kevin O'Reilly in second on the hards. Oreshka and Aces versus Kings, the only two on the mediums. So going for the alternate strategy around here. The game suggests you take hard medium as the preferred strategy. So, in the last sector already, these first two sectors are very quick if you're not paying much attention. At least they feel like they're going by very quickly. The cars are rounding off the formation lap and just doing the last few burnouts, except Red Flame Joe. So it's gonna be 5 red lights and away we go. Nearly. Kevin O'Reilly doesn't. Red Flame Joe does. Joe holds off Lancer into turn 1 for now. Lancer goes very wide and is gonna fall back into Reshka and Ghost here. I don't know what happened to Kevin O'Reilly though. He's falling back all the way to P12 from second. Finley gets a strong start from 11th, I think it was. There we go. Yep. So Williams 1-2 at the moment, followed by Ghost and then Lancer. Reshka going through on Joe even. With a strategical swap, I'd say. As Joe is under threat from Ghost, the two tier 1 teammates. Aces versus Kings down the inside on Finley as he falls back into Robert. Who now cannot profit from Aces' rather bad exit after that move. So Williams 1-2 at the moment. Reshka leads on the mediums. And Joe on the hards, Ghost on the hards, Lancer on the hards as well. Reshka will be struggling next stint if he can't pull away right now. Yeah. Oh, good camera angle this. Give me more of that. Now this is awful again. So, Finley already up into 5th as he gets past Johnny Stokes. McLaren already up 6 places after that. So we're gonna start lap 3. Right now. Just as the fastest lap, and DRS is now active, so the DRS trains will start to form very soon. As now it's just a slipstream terrain. Joe is going to stay behind his teammate. Goes under threat from Lancer. Is Lancer going to maybe send one to the inside? No, he's going to stay behind. Wait for the DRS as he goes up the rear of the Aston Martin. There was contact, but I doubt there would be any damage. Okay, Joe is going to go through on his teammate. Reshka, Williams swapping places. Reshka's job now to defend off Ghost. Ghost is going to go down the inside on his good friend Reshka. There's a bit of lag from Reshka. Still side by side through turn 2. Still side by side coming into turn 3. Ghost gets forced onto the grass a little bit and has to stick it back behind the Williams. Reshka already on 25% ERS. His teammate 90, and that's the effect of being the leader in a DRS train. 1.1 seconds between the gap between Joe and Reshka. Never mind. The Williams team playing the mind games and the tactics to help each other. Finley thought he was on the attack for a second there. But Finley up into P5 already. Good progress from the McLaren. He's got very close to the Red Bull there, from what it looked like on that camera angle. Okay, if people could just overtake, this race would be a lot better. That will happen soon. I'm sure of it. So we have an 8-car train at the moment. If Robert can just get within that second. Rishka now with the RS will be looking to close up to Joe. Maybe pass him on the next straight, or just stick behind and fend off Ghost for the meanwhile. So I think that is the plan for the two Williams at the moment. Just keep the 1-2. Oh, the camera angles are really good here at this track. I'm loving it. Just watch an hour of this. I wouldn't mind. Anyway, Reshka getting a bit snappy on the exit of 8. No, Joe, sorry, that was. Joe getting very slidey out of the last corner again. Um, those hards will start to fade away at this point. At least that was from my experience in tier 1. The tires all just fade away very quickly, except the softs, which can go as long as the hards and mediums for some reason, before they start to slide and oversteer. They lose grip on the rears mainly. The rears is what's going to be effective as Finley goes for the overtake on Ghost. I didn't even see Finley get past Lancer. Sorry. That was an audacious dive bomb from Finley into the hairpin. He's going to be looking to get past Reshka now. And make a statement to get back in this championship fight. Robert gets a penalty for corner cutting, so I think he'll have gotten that last chicane after going off. And coming back on a bit too quickly. As we ride on board with the McLaren, very close to the Williams. Finley will be looking to take every opportunity he gets to get to Red Flame Joe. To break this triangle hold on this 1-2 for Williams. Finley's gonna be sensible for now. Brakes late. The mediums get a better exit though. For now, the tires helping Reshka a lot more than they are helping Finley. Goes sticking with Finley though, so whatever opportunity Finley gets to overtake Reshka, Goats will be there to pounce if there's a mistake. And so is Lancer Factors. Reshka gets a penalty for track limits. And that's early compared to everyone else. Yeah, that will be costly at the moment, but it's Canada. There's gonna be more. Finley always closing up in the braking zone. But it's the DRS helping Reshka stay ahead of Finley at the moment. His teammate Joe being very kind to Reshka by giving him DRS. Although it may not even be enough if Finley can just keep chipping away at this this gap between himself and Reshka. If he cannot hit him under brakes, it seems. Finley all over Reshka now. There's been a spin, and that's Robert. Could that cause a safety car? Not quite. As Finley now decides to go for the overtake, as soon as I cut away from him, he is going for the overtakes though, which is what I asked from him to get the entertainment up a bit. But at least always entertaining. When's it not been? Finley using DRS. It's going to be on the inside of Reshka. He's going to want to split these two Williams. Can he hang it on around the outside? Still side by side with the Williams. Reshka on the inside now is going to have the outside for turn 4. As Finley barges his way through. And is now up into P2. As Scotty retires in the pit lane. As he now is our first DNF this race. Finley though, outside of DRS. Can he get back in it though? Finley again, no ERS, same as last week. Joe on 60%, 55. As everyone's rather low, except Johnny Stokes. He's got enough. Finley on 0. Just needs to start saving it. As he gets very, very tank slappery on the exit of the last corner, nearly hitting the wall. As Reshka goes through on the McLaren to take back the 1-2. And let's see if Joe now will slow down for Reshka to take the DRS. Or he's just gonna drive on through. I think it's smart of Joe to stay outside of it for now, as the others is very close. Finley again all over Reshka's rear wing. Ghost the same. Can Ghost now go for a move on Finley to get him back? No, he's going to stick behind the McLaren, and so is Lancer behind the Aston Martin. And so is Johnny Stokes behind the Red Bull. The top 6 all within 4 seconds of each other. I should say 2nd to 6th within 1.5 seconds. As Ghost gets past Finley, nearly collides with Reshka. This is the action I was looking for last 2 weeks. Jonah Larson gets past Finley now. Finley's dropping like a stone without all that ERS. Yeah. And all this is causing is Joe to just drive off. He's gonna just go into the distance. He's the new Max Verstappen of this season. As there is rain on the screen. This is going to be a big moment for all of these guys to pit at the right moment. As Roberts gets the fastest lap for the rest of this race if it stays wet, because the Inters will not produce enough grip, nor will just any rain, as there's penalties galore at the moment. Skid Solo's out, so that may cause a safety car, and it does. This is terrible for Joe. There's a lot of spray now in this first sector. Surely everyone just comes in and boxes for Inters. Joe in. Reshka is also in. Ghost also in. Ghost nearly. Oh, Lancer gets a drive through. Ghost gets very. What's the word? He locks up his rears, so nearly spins in the pit lane. But Lancer gets a drive through. That's going to be huge for his race, for everyone else as well. As he loses out 2 places. Jakalaka goes onto the wets. So far, a bizarre call. As Robert is struggling as he stays out. What? Um, he goes off the track, so I don't know. Why would you stay out? A bizarre call from Robert. And surely he's gonna box. You can't even keep it on the road. So Red Flame Joe still leads from Ghost from Finley. Reshka drops 2 places. Lancer drops 3, I think. Lancer drops 2, sorry. Ghost was in 3rd, Reshka 2nd. Finley gains 2. Reshka double stacked. I don't know why Lancer lost time. Maybe some damage for the Red Bull. But 2 strange decisions. One, I can understand if the rain's going to keep on getting heavier, but one is just completely absurd. It's pouring. This is the start of Canada 2011, and he decided to stay out. But Robert is in now for Inters, so a bit late, but you could have gained a place maybe. Anyway, safety car brings everyone back together again. Red Flame Joe did say he was on a dry setup, I think. Meaning he'll be under pressure if the 3 behind have a wet setup on. And also behind the 3 behind Joe. Joe will have some massive work to do if he wants to fight for this win. If he does have a dry setup on. Jakalako is into the pit lane again, probably for Inters. Smart call right now. This should be the last lap under the safety car. Two lap pressure Inters for Jakalako. Let's see what he can do with those. Safety car is in. So Joe leads the pack for the restart. go for this view, actually. That's way better. As Joe has gone, it seems like. Not really catching Ghost out. Yeah, Ghost already catching up a lot, it seems. I guess I'll wait a few laps to see what happens. But anyway, Kevin O'Reilly gets 3 seconds. That's another penalty. Ghost gets 3 seconds now. That's not what the Aston Martin wants. Certainly not at this time. He's in P2. So Joe's doing well so far. If he does have a dry setup. Finley now gets 3 seconds. So just Joe, Johnny Stokes, and Jack Olacco all yet to get a penalty. And Jordan Lancer, the Jays, all yet to get a penalty. Lancer not falling all too far behind. I'm sure he can close up to the cars ahead. But no DRS in the wet, meaning there won't be as many overtakes. Ace is right on the back of Kevin O'Reilly. Can Ace maybe send one to the inside of the hairpin? It's definitely worth a try at the moment, as he did decide to go for it as he loses the rear. Still nearly gains the place though, as Kevin goes very wide and nearly into the wall. So a mistake from both drivers there. Back at the front, not much happening. Yeah, the gaps are just getting bigger between Joe and Ghost. As Aces, I think, made a mistake. As his teammate and Robert go through. Jack is gonna get the better traction on the exit of turn 7. He's gonna overtake Robert into turn 8. With a great camera angle, I must say. Lance already caught up by 5 seconds. As Robert gets past Jackalacco again on the inside of the hairpin. This is great battling in the wet. So I think Ghost made a mistake as he's 1.5 seconds behind Joe. I think Joe made a mistake now to lose 2/10. There's Finley alongside Ghost now. Finley gonna try to hold it around the outside. Still side by side on a run into turn 3. Ghost dives back down the inside to take P2 back from Finley, but can Finley fight him back into turn 6? As he couldn't. He just has to stick behind the Aston Martin for now. This 3-car train, though, about to become 4 when Lancer catches up. So I'll keep an eye on that for sure. Johnny Stokes around the back of Vreshka. Is there a move there, maybe? Decides to stick behind. So Aces, as Robert now has a very big moment and loses 3 places. As Lancer is now involved in this battle. As Aces gets very sloppy on the exit of the hairpin. Big oversteer for the Haas driver. Lancer up into P8. It's another penalty for Aces. As Finley gets past Ghost. As Ghost made a mistake. Or was that contact maybe? So anyway, something happened to the Aston Martin. Finley is now up into P2, but he's out again. For the second time in 2 races, Finley bottles it. From a podium position. So if there was contact, Ghost gets the last laugh of the 2. But another safety car brings everyone back together again, and Lancer is in a great place at the moment. As Ghost decides to go in for a new set of inters. So the Williams 1-2 is back again. Johnny Stokes in third now, instead of Finley. There's Jackalacco on the wets again. Is this a master stroke by the Haas driver, or is there something going on? Anyway, as it does, from what I can see, it does seem pretty wet out there, so the wets might not be all too bad of a call for now. Robert gets a penalty on their safety car, which he should be able to get removed, that warning. So, as we get underway again, Joe has gone again. Reshka being caught out a lot. Goes getting a penalty under safety car. I don't know if he can get it removed. This is the end of the safety car procedure. But we'll see. Goes past his teammate. Goes on those 8-lap fresher tires. I think he can. I think he can really get come back at the top 3 now if he can get the penalty removed. Kevin goes onto the grass. Please rejoin safely. Okay, looked all good for that from there. As Reshka goes wide, Johnny Stokes nearly took P2 as there's another safety car for Kevin O'Reilly's wing. I think that's pretty obvious now. The Aston Martin unfortunately had a spin, I think, and collided with the wall. They've been just a collision with the wall. Anyway, there's a safety car. Again, frustratingly. Lancer, Kevin, and Robert all in for wets. So, 9 cars still remaining. I can see all of them winning. I can't lie. For the guys at the back, mainly Aces and Robert, it will be if there's chaos. For Lancer, Kevin and Jack, it will be if the track's wet enough for the wets to be good. For Ghost, if Johnny and Joe get penalties, and those tires, those inters just get good. Those younger inters. Johnny, if Joe gets a penalty and he doesn't, Reshka. Same thing if Joe gets a penalty and Johnny also gets a penalty. Jakalako in again. Back for Inter, so it's not good enough for wet, according to the Haas. As Jakalako just gets past Robert on pit exit. Ghost will be screaming for this race to get back underway, as he's got those younger tires. The 3-time elite champion. As Robert goes very wide at the hairpin. One more lap of the safety car, hopefully. So it's looking very, very wet out there. Lancer is gonna stick it out on the wets. Never mind. I guess not. Hopefully Lancer can catch back up again. There's a lot of kerfuffle between wets and inters, but it looks like the inters are the tire of choice for everyone. As for the third time today, safety car is in this lap. Joe again, still in the lead. So we get back underway again. Red Flame Joe again builds a gap over Reshka. Maybe Reshka just reacting slowly on purpose as Joe slides through turn 1. Lancer already passed Kevin. That's twice Kevin has been overtaken on the restart now, this race. Ghost gets past Johnny Stokes for P3. Those 8-lap younger tyres already working for the Aston Martin. As Ghost already gets past Reshka, his good friend in the Williams. Ghost is a man on a mission at the moment. His next target, championship leader, reigning champion, race leader, Red Flame Joe. However, Ghost 6 seconds of penalties. Might look to get one removed. But still, 5 seconds to make up virtually is a lot of time in 6 laps. As he goes off, this doesn't help him. This does not help you, Ghost. As there's a crash. That's Aces versus Kings round. Kevin O'Reilly gets past 2 cars as well, on top of Aces as well. As Johnny Stokes is into the pit lane. Yeah, so Lancer could look to take P2 here on penalties. Lancer with younger tyres as well compared to Reshka. Reshka parking it on the apex. Lancer struggling and just constantly hitting the rear of the Williams. Reshka doing a great job defending. This is very close, and there's contact. They nearly spin out, the pair of them. Oh, Reshka has to go off the track, but after contact with Lancer. Lancer now up in the P3 and looking to challenge Ghost and Joe for this win. Ghost catching Joe by... Wait, no, Joe is not... Ghost is not catching. Joe is extending. And Jordan Lancer is catching Ghost, so Ghost losing pace in those tires already. Was there a mistake from the Aston Martin? Ghost going very fast, already catching up by a second. Now he's lost a second, but he's gained a second back. Reshka gets another 3 seconds. So this is going to be a straight fight between Joe, Ghost, and Lancer. Actually, oh, Lancer gets 3 seconds though. That could be very crucial for Ghost to, if he can get our penalty removed, to stay in P2 at least. So the pressure on Ghost to get out of the penalty range and catch up to Red Flame Joe. Chakalako gets his first penalty of the evening as well. His DRS is enabled again. It's the race getting lighter apparently, which is why the wets weren't working. But Ghost makes a mistake, allowing Lancer to get closer and closer. Ghost is also getting closer to Joe though, so if Ghost can hold off Lancer for long enough and get close up to Joe, he might be able to snag a P2 away from Lancer. But Lancer is getting very close to that Aston Martin with the help of DRS. He's on low DRS though, and so is Ghost. It'll have to be pure DRS power from the Red Bull to get past Ghost in the Aston Martin. Reshka's in for slicks, and so is Ace. Ace is also went in for slicks, so Robert's fastest lap might still be in danger here. Although we'll have to see at the end of lap 34 and 35. As Jordan Lancer is very close to the Aston Martin. Can he perform a switchback? Not quite, but can he get him on the exit though? Also not quite, but surely he'll get him on the DRS now. There goes the Red Bull on the Aston Martin. Lancer. Has he got one man ahead of him? And that is Red Flame Joe, his title rival, as Lancer gets very, very slippy out of that last corner. Ghost not being able to profit from that. As Lancer goes very wide and allows Ghost doesn't get the switch back as he makes a mistake himself as well. So Joe is just running away with this right now. Purely because the two behind are not being able to catch up. They're making mistakes. Joe is just keeping it clean. No penalties. No big moments. As Lancer gets a tank slapper again. Can Ghost get close enough to challenge the Red Bull again? Can he just close up to the Red Bull in this DRS zone and maybe challenge in the next lap even? As we start the last lap, it's all or nothing for Ghost if he can get that penalty removed. As it was maybe a warning on the safety car. Ghost not gaining all that much time. Gained some, but then lost it all on the exit. 8.5 tenths. Needs to be closer to be able to attempt to move. Robert and Kevin, though, really close together, so I'll keep an eye on that now. But for now, Ghost not being able to get close enough to the Red Bull of Lance, who's using all of his URS, and Ghost is using nothing. But anyway, Kevin, is he able to get close enough to be able to overtake just before the finish line? As Reflame Joe wins the Grand Prix, Lancer gets second with Ghost very close behind. But Robert not able to Robert able to keep off Kevin behind, who's not able to overtake the Red Bull. Jack Kalako finishes P6, Reshka P7, and Johnny Stokes finishes in P8 to round off the finishes for this race. So, Red Flame Joe wins very, very dominantly. A great performance by the reigning champion, cementing his place um, on top of the standings further. Jordan Lancer in P2 and it goes rounding off the podium. Robert with the fastest lap for Red Bull. And Kevin O'Reilly in P5, Jakalaka P6, Johnny Stoke P7, Reshka P8, Ace vs Kings P9, and Finley Skid Solo. And someone else. I feel bad. Can't remember. Round off the grid as 9 points scorers. As I'll quickly be getting in the podium finishers for interviews. So we have our race winner joining the party.
Hello.
Hello to you. I'll just try to get the others in. Ghost is in as well. Just waiting for Lancer if he is going to join. Don't think Lancer's going to join us, so we'll just get started straight away. I'll start off with you, Joe. Very commanding drive. Very dominant as well. Don't think you struggled much at all with that race. If you want to elaborate on that.
No, I didn't struggle too badly. In the dry, I just tried to keep Reshka in my DRS, a bit like last week. But in the wet, I found my braking points on the first lap, and then built up on that. And as it dried out, I saw Lancer and Ghost catching up quickly on fresh inters, so I just braked where I would in the dry and hoped it would stick.
All right. Did you put your setup up for a wet race or a dry race, or a bit of a
Dry
hybrid?
race. I didn't actually see it was gonna rain. I just went straight to track, so luckily it worked out in the end.
Well, that helps a lot. All right. So if you've got anything else you want to say, then you're free to do that.
Yeah, just hope this continues through to the rest of the season again. Who I don't know who else got on the podium, but congrats to those two too. So yeah.
All right. So We'll speak to the other one on the podium in the interview as well. Um, League owner, Ghost. Hello. What happened with you and Finley? At some point you were side by side and you were sideways all of a sudden.
Um, when was that?
Start of the wet period.
Start of the wet period, and I was round. I don't actually remember spinning.
No, not spinning, but like having a big moment.
Oh, right. Yeah, when I lost a ton of positions. Or oh, what you mean the
Yeah,
one at turn one?
yeah.
Yeah. I braked too late. That was all it was.
Oh,
Um, I braked too late for turn one. Saw the writing on the wall. Didn't bother to try and make the corner. And rejoined. I should be able to get that removed, so I should only have 3 seconds of penalties. Because I definitely lost more than 8 tenths. But yeah, it was a bit of a scary moment. There were a couple of those. I had a lock up in the last stint as well. The lap after the safety car came in, locked up all four tyres into the final chicane, and just went straight on. I was so confused. I didn't know why it happened. I braked at the normal time, so I just went off. I think I lost 3 seconds to Joe. So if it wasn't for that, I could have had a shot. And also before it started drying up, I was gaining a lot because I was really happy on the fresh inters. But then after it started drying up, me and Lancer both completely lost our advantage to Joe, and that was game over. But no, all credit to him. He drove very well. Credit to Reshka as well. They're almost certainly in a party because they worked very well together today. As a team, so fair play to them, and well done to Joe.
all right. You were talking about the fresher inters helping you a lot. Why did you make the call to box for the inters again?
Because on the tyres I was on, I was already really struggling. I was losing the rears through corners and understeering. I wasn't having a good time. So I thought I I made the call that everyone behind me, because I was going to be the only one pitting in the front pack, that everyone behind me would have pitted as well. And that's exactly what happened. So, other than the people in the front pack with me, so that's basically best case scenario. And I thought I've got a better chance of overtaking them on much better tires than I do to hold them off on the same tires. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm very happy I made that call, because I don't think I would have been on the podium here if I hadn't have done that. So yeah, I'm very happy because the tire wear was. I've been struggling with tire wear at this track all week. So yeah, I thought better to go on fresh tires and get them on corner exits because they're going to be really struggling in these conditions on those tires. And I was right. I got all three of the people ahead of me within a couple, or two within a couple corners, one sector or something. So yeah, I'm very happy with how it went.
Yeah, I could definitely tell it paid off for you to box again. If you've got anything else you want to say, you can do so.
I mean, just that I'm happy to be back on the podium after a disastrous first two rounds. I'm out of the title race, but hopefully I can get back into sort of the top four is the goal, in the standings. So yeah, it's going to be a long road, but I think if I can not bin it at Kota, and then have decent races for the last four, especially Monaco. I don't want to repeat what I did in Monaco in Elite last time. 8 pit stops. then I think I've got a good shot at it. So yeah, and good luck to Joe and Lancer, because I think it's a 2-horse race now for that title.
Yeah. All right. Thank you,
Oh,
Joe.
and sorry, and great race from Kevin, my teammate, as well. He's had a difficult start to the season, and he did really well today, especially after he had his clutch issue at the start where he couldn't get off the line. So yeah, he did really well. Top 5, great result for us.
Okay. Oh, that was a clutch issue. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate. That's just bad luck.
Absolutely.
All right. I think I'll be ending it here then. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks to the people in chat who participated, and I'll see you.